snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. So, hello guys.
Oh gosh, I sound a bit American.
Hi guys, I went on holiday and I bought a few books, and I bought a few books whilst I was on holiday that I didn't get on holiday. I just got them off Amazon and sent them home. But yeah, I have a problem, but let's just get into the books. Okay, so the first few books that I actually ended up picking up were graphic novels, because I realised I haven't read a graphic novel in ages and I was just in the mood for some arty, really cool graphic novels I've been hearing a lot about recently. And so the first one I haven't heard much about. I've only heard about it on Mercedes' channel, which I will link down below, and that is Pretty Deadly, which is a graphic novel kind of retelling of Wild Western setting of fairy tales, and it's very twisted, very dark. There are a lot of gruesome scenes and nudity, so if you're young, please don't read this because you will not enjoy it and it will scare you. But if you are an older teenager or an adult, then please do pick this up if you like the sound of it. I thought it was really, really good. I have already read it.
One book that I've already read on my book haul, yay!
And I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 star rating, so really enjoyed it, and I will definitely be doing a review of this very soon if it's not already up. Next, I have a book that has been floating around on BookTube a lot recently, and that is The Saga Volume 1. I know loads and loads of people have been reading this, and I want to know why there is such a big hype about this book, because I have no idea what it's about to begin with. I just bought it because so many people were talking about it. I actually have no idea whatsoever about what it is to do with. Lisa Niella just did a video where she said that this thoroughly deserved the hype that was going around, and so because she and I have similar tastes, when she said that I thought, why not pick this up? Why not give it a go? If she liked it and she thought it was worth the hype, then hopefully I will too. So I'm really excited to read this, and I hope that I'll be able to get this done fairly soon. I'm not entirely sure when I'll pick it up, but I will definitely be trying to get to it very, very soon. So let me know if you've read this and what you thought of it. Next, I have a book that I'm really excited about, and this is Theft of Swords, which is book number 1 in the Re-Area Revelations by Michael J. Sullivan. I read a short story by Michael J. Sullivan in Unfettered, which is an anthology that I have been reading this month, and I've done a review, so go check that out. But I read a short story by him which was set in the same world as this, and it instantly made me want to buy this, and instantly made me want to really just go out and read it straight away. I haven't started it yet, but I really do want to, because I'm sure I'm going to love it after having read that short story. And I got this in Waterstones whilst I was on holiday in Devon, so yeah, this was one that I actually did get on holiday. That was really cool. Next, I have The Assassin's Curse, which is, I believe, book number 1 in this duology by Cassandra Rose Clare. I've been hearing great things about this, and I love the cover. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It definitely has a sort of Arabian Nights feel, and it really, really is beautiful. There's these little silhouettes on it which are so stunning, and I had to get it. And I saw a video on Little Book Owl's channel, who I will link again down below, and she was saying that this company who prints these books is actually going out of business, and therefore these books are going to be out of print for a while and may not be back in print ever. So I wanted to get this and I wanted to read it, and there are actually 2 in the series. I am definitely looking forward to reading this little duology, I believe, because it sounds really cool, and I think it's about pirates. And pirates are awesome, so I haven't really read any books about pirates for a while, so I definitely feel like pirates are something I want to get into very, very soon. Next, you may remember a while ago that I said I had The Other Lands, which is by David Anthony Durham, which is book number 2 in the Acacia series. I hadn't realised it was book number 2 when I picked it up, but I then found out that this, Acacia, is book number 1, and after reading a very short story in the anthology Unfettered, again by David Anthony Durham, I utterly fell in love with his writing, and I am now so excited to read this as well, because that short story I really enjoyed, and I'm hoping that I'm going to love this series as well. So yeah, now I have book 1 and I can start it because I have book 1 and book 2, so hopefully this will be happening fairly soon. I know a lot of you guys said that this series was really good, so I would love to know if you think I should bump this up my TBR and put it in next month or wherever. Next, I have book number 2 of the Sword of Shadows series by J.B. Jones. This one is called A Fortress of Ice. I have book number 1 already and book number 3, but I didn't have book number 2, and I do like to have a sort of complete chronological order order of books before I start the series. I don't like having, for example, book number 1 and book number 3, reading book number 1 and then having to get book number 2. I like to have book 1, 2 and 3 before I begin. So, seeing as I bought book number 3 first, which was bad because I didn't realise it was book number 3, I now have book number 1, 2 and 3 and I can start this series soon. I've heard good things and bad things about this, so I'm not sure if I'm going to like it, but I got this really cheap. I got all of these books quite cheap. Next I have a book number 3 in the Septimus Heap series, which is by Angie Sage. I read book 1 and 2 earlier this year or last year, I'm not sure when, but fairly recently, and I hadn't got around to picking up book number 3 yet, so I finally picked it up, and this one is called Physic. I love the design of these covers. I think they're beautifully done, and this one in particular is really cool because my other 2 books in the series look like this, and together they make a really cool set. However, these first 2 books don't have the deckled edges that this one does, so that's really cool, and this is definitely an older edition, or an edition that's different to these 2, even though it looks the same. But yeah, inside this one there is a map, and it's so cool, and I don't know if you guys can see that really well, but there's this awesome map inside, and it just is so cool, and it's got all these little writings around it, and oh my gosh, it's awesome. So when this turned up with the map inside that I was not expecting, because these other 2 do not have a map inside, they are just plain white. So when this one turned up with a map inside and all that cool stuff and deckled edges and just looking really pretty, I was like, oh god, I am so happy, what an awesome surprise. Because I did get this one second hand and it's in pristine, beautiful condition, so I couldn't have asked for a better delivery. Highly recommend this series as well, by the way. If you like kids fiction and wizards and things like that, then this is really fun. Battle Royale, which is by Kushan Takami. This book was translated from, I believe, Japanese. A lot of people have been hauling this book recently or putting it in their TBR piles, and I'd never heard of this really. I don't know where I've been living, under a rock, but I just hadn't really heard about this, and apparently this is kind of like the ultimate dystopian world which the Hunger Games and awesome things like that have been set off. All these kids get put together and have to fight to the death, and it sounds very brutal and very gruesome and very dystopian, and as soon as I heard about this I was like interested in it, and then as I saw more and more people sort of hauling it and talking about it, I thought, god, I need to get this. So many people have raved about this and said it's amazing, so why have I never heard of it or read it? And now I have it, so I can definitely pick it up soon. I also absolutely adore this cover. I think the silhouettes on the red are gorgeous. Inside there's also this map, which is really cool, and I'm sure that has to do something with the story. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I would love to know if you guys would like me to read this soon, because I probably will read it soon, because it sounds really awesome, and I'm just, yeah, highly excited about this one. So the first book that I picked up, I actually picked up with a reason for once, and that was because I watched an interview on YouTube. Can't remember what it was. If I find it, I'll link it down below so you guys can go and check it out. But I watched this interview which involved Patrick Rothfuss, Jim Butcher, and quite a lot of other fantasy authors as well. And basically within that they were talking about some of their favourite and most awesome magic systems and stories that they read when they were younger that inspired their own stories. And one of the books that they all mentioned was Master of the Five Magics by Lyndon Hardy. Now, I had never heard of this book ever. Didn't know anything about it, just it wasn't a big thing at all. I had just no idea what it was. So when I looked it up, it sounded like it was really interesting. It's about all sorts of different magics. There are 5 different types: thaumaturgy, alchemy, magic, sorcery and wizardry. And they all sound really interesting, of course. I love magical systems. Patrick Rothfuss actually said that his magical system came from this quite a lot and was heavily inspired by this. So I'm really intrigued by it, and I just wanted to pick it up. And when I found out that this book is incredibly cheap if you buy it secondhand, then I just could not resist. And this copy is actually in perfect condition considering it came out in like 1980. I would love to know if any of you guys have read this, because I really don't know if many people have, or if at least many people my age have read it. I would love to know if there are some of you who are older than me who have read it. Next I have The Pirate's Wish, which is book number 2 by Cassandra Rose Clare, who writes The Assassin's Curse, which I got in my last book haul. And when I saw the covers, I mean, they are gorgeous. You cannot say that they are not beautiful, so I'm really hoping that I will be able to do a cover chat about these yes, Cover Chat will be coming back, probably when I start uni again, which is September, but I might try and do a few before then. We'll see if I get the time. Next, I have a book that I am currently listening to on audiobook, and that is book number 6 in the Wheel of Time series, which is The Lord of Chaos, and this is by Robert Jordan. I read book number 5, The Fires of Heaven, last month, and I've been reading these books very slowly in the past, but now that I have an Audible account and I get 1 audiobook credit a month, I want to download all of the rest of these in audiobook form, because I find that I get through them a lot quicker if I read them and have the audiobook on the go at the same time. So yeah, I'm definitely loving the audiobooks of these. If you do have an Audible account and you don't know what to buy, then these are definitely worth it if you want to read this series. I actually ordered this twice before getting this copy in Waterstones, and I ordered it with this cover on both of them from eBay and Amazon, and both times they sent me the complete wrong cover, the American version, and it wasn't the mass market paperback, this version, which I wanted. So I sent them back both times, and I finally gave up on trying to order it online, and I went into Waterstones and I purchased this at full price, and I don't really mind because I'm absolutely enjoying this series and I think it's really, really wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to sort of getting through these books, 1 book per month, I hope. So yeah, that's definitely something that's going to be happening from now on. I'm really going to try and finish up this series over the next couple of months. Obviously I'm only on book number 6 and there's 14 books, so it's going to take a while. But I'm really happy that I'm back in this world and just enjoying it again, and I really, really love it. So this I'm currently reading. Next, I picked up Dreamwalker. Again, I got this in Waterstones, and this is by J.D. Oswald at full price. I had never seen this, and I don't know why I bought this, really. I completely picked this up on a whim. I've never heard anything about it. I've never seen it before, but it was so, so gorgeous. The image of the dragon on the front is just absolutely stunning. I love the design of this. I think it was the graphics that really attracted me, because I'll be honest, I don't have a clue what the story's really about. But this dragon, it's like embossed and it's so gorgeously designed. I just could not say no, I could not resist. It is beautiful, and so I hope the story inside is just as good as the cover, but the cover is absolutely magnificent. This was drawn by Sam Headley, or Headley. It's based on a design, Spirit of the Dragon, by Kelly Morgan and Kathleen Smick, so definitely go and check them out. I'm going to be checking them out as soon as I finish this book haul, because they just are, this design is so gorgeous that if they inspired it, then I definitely want to know more about their work. But hopefully, if this is a really good book, then I might do a cover chat on this as well. We'll see. But it's so gorgeous, this cover, and it was completely a cover buy. So if you've actually read the book and you know anything about the actual storyline, then please let me know if it's good or whatever you think. Next, I have another book that I got at full price. This month has been a lot of full price books. Usually I'm a complete bargain hunter, but this month I just had a load of books that I really, really wanted and just found them in Waterstones, so I picked them up. So the next one that I got is Terry Brooks's The Sword of Shannara, and this is book number 1 in his series based in the Shannara world, I believe. I've heard so many good things about Terry Brooks from various different people and from people who love his series, and I just wanted to pick this up after reading Unfettered and reading his short stories within Unfettered. I absolutely loved them, and I really, really want to give this a go and find out a lot more about his world, because so many people love it, and this is a complete classic in fantasy, I believe. Next, I went to the charity shop that is quite close to where I live. That completely gets me every time, and I actually picked up the second book that is in the Dragon Keeper series by Carol Wilkinson. This one is called The Garden of the Purple Dragon, and I have the first one on my bookshelf over there that you guys can't see. I showed it to you in a previous haul. I'd never heard of the series before, but I love the size of the books. They're really interesting size, very different to a lot of other books, and I love the fact that they have really, really bright but dark covers and about dragons. I mean, dragons are amazing, so I 100%, when I found this in hardback, it's really, really beautiful. I wanted it because I already had the first, and it's gold on the inside, which is super cool, like, really, really cool, so 100% I'm excited about this series. Next, I have The Wind-Up Girl, which is by Pali Bacigalupi. I'm so sorry if I messed that name up. It's a Hugo and Nebula award-winning book, and I've seen this around in Waterstones, but when I found it in the charity shop for £1, I could not resist. I really don't know very much about it, but the cover and the graphics are so interesting. They instantly just captivated my attention. It's got an elephant on the front down here, and it's got these really, really tall skyscrapers with this blimp going across in the background, so it just sounds really, really interesting. I love the sort of mottled effect that is going on the underline. It looks like it's been sort of inked on, and it's just really, really cool, so I'm hoping that this will be a really, really cool read. Next, I have a book that I've been looking at for a while, but I wasn't sure if I was going to pick up or not, and this is Eyes Like Stars by Lisa Mantchev, and I really don't know anything about this. I believe that it is a YA, and I believe that it is kind of like a historical fiction with magical aspects. I guess it's kind of magical realism, I'm not sure. It's about a theatre called the Theatre Illuminata, and it's about all the magic that happens there on the stage, I suppose. And the reason that I wanted this was because the cover, again, this was a complete cover buy, is so, so stunning, and I could not resist it when I saw the cover of this. I had been wanting it for ages, and I haven't bought it because I didn't really hear very much about it, but if you have read this, I would love to know your thoughts. And the final book that I got is Inheritance, which is by Christopher Paolini. I believe that this now completes the series for me, and I now have all of them, so I'm really interested to read these now that I do have the entire series on my TBR shelf, just waiting for me. This is the Eragon series, if you didn't know, and this is a kids series about dragons. So those are all of the books that I got. I can't believe that I've done another book haul already. It's insane, but thank you guys so much for all of your recommendations. They have been really interesting and helpful, and I've been adding all of your recommendations onto my wish list to buy in the future. So I really need to start reading more, but then I will definitely also be buying more. I cannot resist buying books and I love them. I am really grateful for all of your suggestions. I will look forward to chatting to you guys in the comments, and I will see you all very, very soon in my next video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat.